Welcome to Prester John installment number 59. Allow for the mango. It became apparent that in the traditional chronology there are three major time shifts. So when we digging on Daniel, Alkum, Misi, Killian, and they try to put him back in the BCs. My Naga, wakey wakey. For the mango. It became apparent that in the traditional chronology, there are three major time shifts by approximately 300 years, 1,000 years, and 1,800 years, my naga. So when they put King David in the BCs, you think we crazy for digging on, the Davids popping up in the 11th, 12th century? You think we cray-cray? My naga, this is Prester John. Number 59. We did it again. Hey, shout out to the tribe, man. Ahab to the Shabata. By approximately 300 years, 1,000 years, and 1,800 years. So you got to look for Prester John in between the timelines, man. You got to look at the phantoms and the duplications. That's one thing that's really stuck out throughout this investigation was it became easier and easier to spot the reflections and the duplications, man, because we had nothing that we were really holding on to that we couldn't shift around. We became the water. We became, fluid, man. We was moving water. It was like, okay, everything's moving. We ain't spinning on no ball, but everything's moving. Can you dig it? We in the ether, man. So we, start surfing the wave and getting in between these timelines, man. You start finding a lot of interesting drops, especially around the Russian history, the Mongol history. Of course, man, the indigenous American. You got the Toltexes and Sylvanus, Solomon Brabos, Ogams, Solomon the Builder, Soliman. You got the, Hey, shout out to Dizzle 50, man. We gonna get to it, Dizzle, man. We gotta start digging on Deborah, man. Dizzle's on it, man. You know what I'm saying? So AI, bro, AI, Aquatai, I know you over there digging on Deborah as well. We're gonna dig a little bit on Lady Hannah. I mean, just to show you, man, that ain't no play. So, I mean, these are titles, like Hannah could be Kana. You could put a K right there or a C in front, just like they do Kanan and Hanan and Ana. We got Anion. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna have some fun, man. We're gonna dig on some Kush drop because I got a theory, Manaka. I mean, since it's Prester John 59, I think I could just throw a nice deep pass for y'all. For my Nagas, man, that's running them routes. You running them routes, my Naga? You wanna take it to the house, man? I'm just gonna throw a nice deep, right down the seam, my Naga. I need you to go ahead and pick that, man, and take this to the house, man. But we're going to dig on Kush. And of course, we got Moses, King of Kush. We've been talking about that, man. Look, man, go get those drops, man. I ain't slowing down for nobody, man. Let go. Let's get there, man. Let's get to the mark. The wave surface, man. This is for you, man. We bringing it home for you, man. We got Kush. That's also called Kash. And again, they're putting these K's and taking these K's away. You take that K away, you got Ash. And it's very interesting when you start to dig on Ash or Ashur. It appears, man, there's some Ashur connection, there's a lot of this dark age scenario going on around these genealogies, man. It has a lot to do with chronology, man. Again, 300 years, 1,000 years, 1,800 years. But we're going to dig on this Kash, Kush, and Ashur scenario. And is there two Kushes? That's the main thing. Is there two Kushes, man? Is there the Ethiopian Kush of the African Hamite connection? And then is there a Shemitic Kush that's hidden under the genealogy of Ashur, Ash or Kash or Kush? Because Moses is the king of Hindu Kush, just like David, man. Just like David's the king of Hindu Kush. And we're still digging on that connection. Prester John seemed to have merged those two superpowers, the Dawid and the Moshe, into one priest king, Melchizedek. If you ain't digging on Prester John, you ain't digging on Melchizedek. When you talk energy, frequency, and vibration, especially on a metaphysical level, especially to my metaphysical brothers and sisters out there, you still got a code to keep. When it breaks down into numbers, it's still code, man. When you talk about a priest flow, a priesthood, you're talking about code keepers. You're talking about the remnant, those that choose up. You're talking about the energy, man, that is being crystallized and charging up. That's the remnant. That's you, man. This is you. You the foundation. We're just putting it all together in real time. We're charging up together. When we talk about a priesthood and the priest flow, you got to find it, man. You got to search for it. This is the investigation of Prester John, is searching for that charge, my night. The charge that keeps on charging, that we've disconnected ourselves from Deuteronomy 28. But this becomes reality when you start to dig on it like this, man. Anatoly Fomenko putting this drop back together again, factoring in the phantoms, reflections, and duplications. 3 major time shifts. 300 years, specifically is 333 years, 1,053 years, and 1,778 years. But this is how they're rounding it off. So this is what Fomenko's breaking down. Now, let's get a little bit more, man. I don't speak Russian, so, we're going to put that on pause. So when we factor this in, my Nagi, this is why we can be fluid and put things together faster than, some would expect, because we're belly flopping, because we have no style. The 9 is everything and nothing, man. You can't cop our style because we don't even know what we're going to do next, man. We might kick you. We might punch you. We might drop some bows on you. You know what I'm saying? We might just jump right through your ass. You know what I'm saying? We might just jump right through you, man. We might just disappear, man. We might go Dracan on you, man. You know what I'm saying? We don't even know. You know what I mean? We're just surfing the waves, so I guess on the outside it might look volatile. But on the inside, you're looking for the priestly flow, this order, and we're looking for the original flow, the oregano flow. We're separating out the phantoms and duplications, looking at what's going on with this David character, right? He's being reflected in all these different cultures. Lebna Dango Dawid, Raja Haraja Cholas, David Salzlands. All over the place, man. We got this Dawid down to the Anand Ben Davids and the Daniels and the Kiliabs, man. So we're going to put this, in some type of framework that we can always come back to. And this is what we've done, is put out published recon, documentation, sources. We've done it all, man. We've just put it all out there, man, from day one. You know what I'm saying? By the time you're getting your Etha packs, your Prester packs, you know what I'm saying? This is us now, putting it all together and making it convenient for you, man. So, hey, out to everybody supporting the Etha packs, the Prester packs, the Etha Gold, man, the Etha bands. We got y'all. We love y'all. And keep it coming, man. And we're going to keep it coming because you want it. And this is our individual flow, our specific flow given to us by Hawaii. And we get to, continue to share that and, what I'm saying, support each other. We supporting each other through this. So let's get it, man. There's a lot of real historical events of the Middle Ages were copied on paper by medieval chroniclers and sent into the past, my nigga. Say it again. A lot of real history around what they're calling Middle Ages were copied on paper by medieval chroniclers. I want to say chronographers. Chroniclers and sent into where? The future of the past. The past, my nigga. So these chroniclers sent your real history, your real historical events back in the past, man. Back in the past. So they don't belong in the past. You need to get over this in your mind bone. They don't belong in the past. They've just been sent back in the past. Your job is to get the babies out the bath water, right? So we might have to go back to the past to get back to the future, my night. Now they talking prophecy on us, but really, man, they shifted us in the past. Our present is prophetic. Our present is prophecy, is prophetic, because they put us in the past, man. They put King David in the past. They put Solomon in the past. They put Queen Khalifa, Sheba, Tamar, Hannah. We're going to get to Hannah. Let's go. I mean, you talking Edris, my nigga? Love to Yosef, man. You talking Ezra? When's this going down? You can go crazy at this point once you know they've, literally, man, been, jamming up your history, you know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? Effing up your history, Once you know that, once you know you're being effed with, my nigga, you know what I'm saying? Once you know you're being messed with, they can't tell you how to investigate yourself and put Humpty Dumpty back together once you know that they've shattered you and put you back in the past. Don't tell us how to investigate. Don't tell us how to be us. All you can do is fall back and surf the wave. Come real or go home, because all our real history, our real historical events went where? Back in the past. You know what I mean? Look, there's a lot of recon coming out of Flamenco, you know what I'm saying? So he got chronicle after chronicle after chronicle of this drop, man. How could this happen if the chroniclers of the Middle Ages made unintentional mistakes? I guess perhaps they weren't unintentional mistakes. Maybe they meant to blast your ass to the past. Take the four ancient chronicles. They all describe the same events that occurred, for example, in Europe in the 1400s. So he's, getting what he considers the original oregano flow going down in the 1400s, 1300s. He's going to bring in, all the Russians, which we can connect to the Rus, the An Rus, the Picts, Managa, you know what I'm saying? These are, this is the Khan folk, you know what I'm saying? The Khane. This is the priesthood that was, behind these exilarchs, these Davidic exilarchs. We're going to get more into them exilarchs. The exilarchs are the rulers during these captivities, such as the Babylonian captivity. So why was Daniel chosen as exilarch by the king? We're going to read some of that Daniel 3, Daniel 2. But you got to understand that when Daniel was chosen as exilarch, he was chosen by Nebuchadnezzar or Shalmaneser, or could it be Genghis Khan? Could it be Genghis Khan? Did Genghis Khan choose Daniel, who resembled David, who resembled Prester John, his Khan father. Yeah, Prester John is Genghis Khan's Khan father. So it appears that Genghis Khan, kidnapped Daniel or Killian. Didn't kill him though. Made him his number one guy out of his respect for Prester John King David. But let's go, man. Let's go. So they all describe the same events that occurred, for example, in Europe in the 1400s. Now, they found you, 1492? Columbus sailed the ocean blue. So this is all about you, man. Factor yourself. What's going on with you during this time? Managa, this is you. All this is about you. You weren't just over here. Managa, you're high-tech Nagas, man. All right? You're high-tech people, man. You had dragons. You had all types of magi power, all types of Atlantis, whatever they're talking, Mu, Lemuria, all the ancient frequencies, ancient stones, Managa. We just got out of order with all of that. You know what I'm saying? And they still found us in paradise. It didn't look like this, man. It didn't look like this, man. This is hell. The way this place looks now, it's hell. This is our version of hell. We've been in hell this whole time. Now it's their turn. This is your redemption, man. Our redemption is nigh by now. Let's go. The authors of these chronicles were living not only in different countries, but even at different times. They spoke and wrote in different languages and used a different calendar. So yeah, clearly this was no accident. Just like the councils of Nicaea, councils of Trent, that wasn't no accident to give you a new power, a new romance, a new hero up to the 10th law. Did they make intentional mistakes, my naga? Let's get it from here. Not surprisingly, in telling of the same king, city, or battle. We got Moses, king of Kush, in the book of Ashur. Then you got, the Kofar al-Tariq, Tarak going in their own situation. The Tarak Makda, they popping off. Then you got the whole Alexander situation, which looks like another phantom and duplication. Not surprisingly, in telling of the same king or battle, they gave them totally different names, man. I mean, Raja Hiraja Chola, Lebna Dango Dawi, Prester John, King David. This is why we search. Moshe, all these are titles. How has our history How has our history been told back to us? Fragments, scattered, blasted to the past. 3 chronological time shifts, major chronological time shifts. It's more than 3, way more than 3. But the major ones, right? Therefore, when chroniclers in the 15 and 1600s read these records, they decided that they were talking about 4 different eras. They still trying to make excuses as if they did this on accident. And instead of putting these accounts simultaneously on the time axis, they arranged them in sequence, one after another. It must have been an accident. Must have been an accident, right? But check it out. Here's the result. They left one chronicle in the 1400s. A second they pushed back 300 years, and a third 1,000 years, and a fourth. Hey, fall back, my noggins, man. It's a victory lap, man. It's a victory lap. Fall back, man. Loud one. Right. That's a lot of shifting going. That's very shifty. So this is just a visual, or if you're just listening in, man, your history is just getting dropped over and over and over again, right? They left one chronicle in the 1400s. What's happening in the 1400s? Oh, the Naga is just getting found in America. Here's another way to put it. The kingdom of Israel is being invaded. Now, this is invaded by a certain breed of heathen, a certain breed of hijack, because we already have been invaded a couple hundred years before that by Genghis Khan, right here, my knock. And Genghis Khan looked just like us, by the way, you know what I'm saying? So this is family. It was a family war. Genghis Khan is Prester John's nephew, or, you know what I'm saying, that is his Khan father. King David is who he wanted to be like. He wanted to marry David's daughter. David said, hell nah, man, you ain't no David, man. I take care of you because I adopted you like a son, but I can't give you my daughter, my knock. Genghis Khan, according to the story, said, man, let's pop off then. Let's pop off. President John dared him, man. He said, man, you ain't never gonna pop off, man. And Genghis Khan came and popped off, man, and it was the greatest world war of all time. Some say Prester John was killed in that war. Some say it was his son David. Because a David has a David has a David has a David has a David. We're talking Davidic. Either way, it was time for a change, as the Creator has told us, as Hawa has told us. I'm going to send the worst of the heathen if you don't keep the code. They're gonna change times and laws, these heathen. They're going to change times and laws. How did they change time? They pushed you back in time. So you can't, mentally, I don't care how much I say this, some people will never connect it because mentally they cannot fathom such important history going down way back in the BCs that's connected to them so dearly in 2020. This is what the Prester John investigation is all about. Allah Hawa. That we can connect what's supposed to be way back in the 700 BCs and all that and bring it right to recent history right now and how it affects the Naga in the hood, in the ghetto today. That's told that they niggas and thieves and thugs and savages and all this other stuff, man. But you know what, man? Yeah, we can be all that stuff, but let's be all that for the right reason. In order we pack a powerful punch. But now, my Naga, you are the Ethiopian, the Ethiopian, love to natural. By law, you're the Ethiopian by law. You're in India Superior. Your timeline has been messed with. They dropped you off more than a few times in the past. So you can't connect to pops or moms because they pushed them back so damn far. They said, how far can we push these Nagas back? How far can we push them back to make them get officially out of their psyche so they can never connect to them? Let's push them back 1,800 years. 1,800 years, boss? Yeah, we'll do like this. Just in case they start investigating, we'll give them another version of them. We'll give them a reflection every, 300 years. We'll drop one off over here. We'll drop one off over here, over here. So you're getting pieces of the history, but you can't connect it because one is dropped way the hell back in the BCs. Now you got a new testimony because of all Manak. Look at how much history they push back. What do you think happens when they push this much damn history back? It creates an open space, man, that they can put their history, their New Testament. They can create Jesus. They can create all that timeline bullshit, all that genealogy bullshit, all that gospels, all this story. They can put the Roman history, Greek bullshit. They can put all their fucking bullshit. You know what I'm saying? I'm sorry, man. I'm just tired of being fucked with, just like you. But they can put all their bullshit, right? They can do all that stuff, and they can just paint their bullshit as heaven and act like, look at our heaven. And they just created it because they pushed you so far back in the past. And they gave you false history to fill up the gaps. And they put it so deep into your cerebrum, my noggin, some of you would never break free. But to the naga that would never break free, my naga, I'm here to tell you, my naga, we gonna break your ass free. Cause ain't no nagas being left behind. You wanna choose up with us. If you left behind, it's because that's your design. But to the best of our abilities, ain't no nagas being left behind, my naga. This transmission goes out to all the nagas across the plain, man. You know you are. I just appreciate you being here, rocking with a naga, listening to this right now, vibing up, using your mind bone, your heart bone, your gut bone, my noggin, your ear bones. I mean, we see clearly, man. Look at all this history, man. Put them all together and you get a very long history. All right. Just keep that in mind. Keep that in mind. Let's go. We just getting started, man. Prester John, 59. It's a beautiful thing. Go, click all the links below, man. Make sure you got the drop on this Anatoly for Manco in real time. And let's just see where it takes us. Let's see where it takes us, man. Where y'all want to start? Princess Hannah, Rubani, Gotti, and Mani. Reuben, Gad, Manasseh, what are we talking about? All right. Oh, Princess Hannah of Tahama? Tahama. Okay. Let's go. I was digging on Hannah, man, because, hey, man, Prester John's been digging on Hannah, man. Lady Hannah, that is. Shout out to the Lady Dracons on the wall. Wife of Raja Hiraja Chola II, Jadaran, Emperor of Soli, Prester John, the Pandion. Lady Hannah of Babylon. Lady Hannah of Rubati Ghani Yamani. Lady Hannah of Tahama. Tahama. Rubati Ghani. What is Taurus Sancta all about? What is Australia's Antarctica all about? What are the swans all about, man? Shout out to the 10 breaking down that swan night drop. Why, this swan business is gonna keep popping up in this investigation. Very much so, right? Swan, swan, swan. Let's get it from here. The Persians, Indians, and Armenians, right? And their legends. So they want to go into the legends. Now, before we go into the legends, remember that their legends are about you. Even those that they consider demons or this, a lot of times they're about you, whether they're talking about you in dragon form or, one of your guardians that they're demonizing. By the time you get the story from them, it's just all flipped up, man. You got to be, able to accept that because that's the damn truth. Now, we're just talking to Amazon High Queens. We're just talking to Lady Dracons on the wall, such as Princess Hannah. Now, we'll get back to this Hannah or Kana, because this Hannah has a son named Hannah. And we threw out the possibility. This is an investigation. Don't mind us. We're just investigating. Looking in between the timeline. Now, Hanan is also Kana. Get those previous drops because they use them interchangeably. So, this Hanan is also Anan. And is this the same Anan ben David, who is the brother of Daniel? And they have some type of exilarch beef. And we went into that a little bit. Because again, Daniel has been chosen exilarch by Nebuchadnezzar, but he wasn't chosen exilarch by the tribe, though. Hanan is one of the sons of Prester John. His brother is Solomon. Now, this is happening in the 1200s. Don't mind us for looking in the 1200s. We can't help it because they done dropped us off so many times in the timeline, man. I mean, so many times it's just hard to resist looking in the 1200s, 1400s, 800s, 700s, and the BC. Hanan, Kanan. We said we got to choose our Canaan. Just like you got to choose your Meshech, because there's Meshechs in Shem and in Japheth. There's another Meshech, love to tie battle. She said, man, I was on it, man. The Meshech with Abednego, in the fire in the furnace in Daniel 3. Another Meshech. I mean, you gotta put this together, right? Put them all together and you get a very long history. Only with the help of mathematical statistics can we have a truly objective analysis of old texts. Without them, unfortunately, it is impossible to construct a chronology. Mathematical statistics, man. I'm digging this map back here, man. I'm digging this map, man. I'm digging this map for the Manco. What you over here doing, man? Therefore, to us, the current chronology was never truly established. It was based on very subjective methods. Okay? As long as the chronology did not use the methods of mathematics, statistics, and astronomy, the field of history will be very subjective and have a very shaky foundation. It's shifty, all right. You know what I mean? Then you can recon further. We can say that today the project of the new chronology by Flamenco and Nozovsky consists of two parts. Now, this is just part 3 of this series, history, fiction, or science methods. So it's going to go into the methodologies, man, just for those that want to dig on it further. But a lot of folks, they feel the truth when they hear it, and they hear the truth when they feel it. And they know that, man, when we digging on these Hannahs and we're looking at Hannah in between the timelines. Here we got 1200s. This here we go over 1300s, and over here we got early 1200s. Oh, this is Hanan, Jewish king. Hold on, let me get the Lady Hannah again. But yeah, the Hanan, Canaan, that's another Canaan. We're going to recon on the Nimrod. Nimrod got a son, according to some sources, that's also named Eliezer. It could be Kushes on both sides or Kashes on both sides. Now, this Lady Hannah, they say before 1195. Hold up, man. This Lady Hannah is as late as 13, mid 1300s, 14th century, man. Now, this one is connected with the Rubani Gadi Imani. And this one's back in the 12th century, 1100s. So you got the 12th century to the 14th century right in front of your face. All the same Lady Hannah. Wife of Prester John. Now, who's the wife of King David? I know he has many wives. I get that, but who's the main squeeze, man, right? You got the Bathsheba, Bathsheba. Out of Bathsheba comes who? Soliman, right? So Prester John and this Hannah have Soliman, son of Prester John, husband of Labana, queen of Rubadi Gadi Mani. So they threw us back to the Rubadi Gadi Manis, and I said, where did we see these before? Again, they're legends. They're deifying us when they talk Amazons or fairies, known as Peri and Deves. Now, these Deves is really short for Daves or Davids or Dewees. Peri, like Peru, are seen as good fairies who broke with the bad fairies, which they call Deves. So, who's being called good fairies and bad fairies? Let's go. In fact, the Peri are those Amazon queens who reign from Pargala, and the Deves are the Dewi who reign from Kanka. So, again, since we know that the Persians and Indians and Armenians are making their own legends up, are they flipping the story themselves? Or, maybe we're not getting the full story. Now, they say these Dewis are reigning from Kanka, now under the Timor Sea. So it got sank. In Australia, which we've already connected with Antarctica, who are descended from the Queen of Sheba. Oh, so these Dewis are descended from Sheba, Manai. Are they the bad fairies? Sheba now. Come on, man. Now look how they switched the name to Thebe. So don't we have Thebes and all that Thebes situation? So now we can recon Thebes and know that there's a connection with Thebe and Sheba. And they just changed one letter on your ass and they out of here. So that's back to the Hanan, Canaan scenario, or Anan, and how that relates to the Daniel Alcooms or Kilips. We're going to have some fun today, man. I know it's Prester John 59, but it feel like Prester John 2. It feel like Prester John 3 or 4. I feel like we're just getting started. It's going to be real hard to put this investigation away. I guess we ain't never really going to be done investigating. But, we're going to get to Prester John 60 for the real one, neighborhood nip. And that's really going to be a great checkpoint for us and something that we can just be proud of and say, we did that, man. We said we'd do it, and we did it. Because all this recon is coming from you, my knock. And I'm grateful to surf the wave with you. You know what I mean? To do this with you, and that you're excited to do it, man, for your families in real time, man. That makes it all worth it for us, man. You know what I'm saying? This is a beautiful thing because it's coming from us. Nobody can hate on it that it's original. Nobody can hate on us that we are in our own space, our own lane, our own flow. No one can say anything other than that, my nugget, because energy recognizes energy. A real one can recognize a real one and say, man, you got a nice flow going on, man. I'm with that. How can I increase that? How can I crystallize your flow? Not how can I, you know what I'm saying, replicate your your flow to make it, my own, you know what I'm saying? It's like you got to come to be able to crystallize, man, each other. Stop trying to just, you know what I'm saying, duplicate off each other, but, actually build each other up. We're so in competition that we say, okay, I want to, you know what I'm saying, take these elements and take those elements and, do me and do, instead of just building up what we have, man. You know what I'm saying? For once to work together. So this is our opportunity to work together, and we've had to work together to get to Prester John 60 for sure. And everybody in the recon community, scholarly, scholastic, you know what I'm saying, uh, uh, all the, super smart people out there, you know what I mean, they got to recognize. They got to recognize your dedication and your contribution to the field of academia, my noggin. You might not get your roses from the academic community, but I'm going to give you right here, right now, my noggin. Go ahead and smell those roses, my noggin. Go ahead and take that, man. Take it from drop, man. I give you your roses today. You earn it now. You earn it right now. These are your roses, my noggin. Hold these roses. Let's go, man. Kanka was on the banks of the Thebi or Shebi River. So again, it could be Thebe or Shebe. Waterway that led into the shallow inland sea in central Australia. Okay. We keep hearing about this Rubati, Ghani, and Mani. So you can see these are the high Amazon queens. Popping off. Side by side with the Prester. Now look at this timeline. We got the Princess of Mani, right? Rubati, Ghani, and Mani. Ain't that what keep popping up? Husband of Lembana, Queen of Rubati, Ghani, and Mani. So who's this? We just surfing away. It's the wife of Solomon. So we're just talking Shebas, right? Because Solomon has his Sheba and David has his Sheba. Did you know there's two Shebas? But you would call David's Bathsheba. And Solomon got a Sheba, but these are titles of Shebas, and the Shebas are titles of these queens of Rubati, Ghani, Mani, High Amazon queens. Their names aren't Sheba. It just means daughter of the oath, daughter of the 7 cities of Go. Look out for it, man. That's our victory lap. Cities of gold. Look out for it, man. Now, Limbu, ain't there some type of Limbu tribe, man? Am I tripping? Some type of Limbu tribe? All right, but Labana, Queen of Rubati, Ghani, Mani. All right, well, let's go back to the High Amazon Queen list. And I sent all y'all this drop, man. I mean, everybody that asks, I done sent some drop out to you, but look out for the Ether packs. It's gonna have it all in you, man. It's all good. Or you could just pull it up. Just pull it up. Everything we drop right here is for you for free, man. So you got all the investigation for free. You got all the videos, all the drop. You got the radio. Everything's popping off, man. For anybody to surf the wave, man. You know what I mean? And that's what I'm most proud of, man. Is that we was able to do it. You know what I mean? Without, you know, you didn't have to charge no college tuition to get this drop or not. You know what I mean? We got it on the humble, man, from our creator. You know what I'm saying? We got the real knowledge from Hawaii, on the humble, my dog. See, this is when you start getting into the Pandians, right? The Pandians. Didn't it say Prester John, Roger Chola? The Pandian. Let's get it over here. Right. So it looks like we're, spiraling into familiar, grounds throughout our flow. Um, like I keep telling y'all, we're barely scratching the surface of the Cholas and the Panians, the Brackentoni dynasties, the Georgians, you know what I mean, the High Amazon Queens, you know what I mean, we're the Ethiopians and all the flow. It's like we're barely scratching the Kofar Alta Rock. We're just getting familiar with these terminologies and starting to see what the vibrations like. You know what I mean? It's crazy that we can get to Prester John 59 and still be like, we barely even started investigating. You know what I'm saying? I don't know what YouTube's going to be like, but we might just be continuing on our website at 432 to drop. You know what I'm saying? You might have to go there just to get the next PJ, man. Because, like I said, man, for a long time, man, we are making a dismount, from this particular lens over here, man, on the tube, man. It's time to have our own flow just like we do. Catch us in the ether, and we'll see you. A-hop to the real ones. Balcony surfers from the top. Pandians. Rubanis. All right, who's this Labana? Let's just check this list out, man. See if we have any familiar names. I know we saw Esther, man. Shout out Queen Esther. Queen Esther, another high Amazon queen. Radra Putri. And there you got the Esther. And I said, uh-oh. Check out the timeline. And you have Esther, you got the Mordecai, right? All this is the Dark Ages. Is this a golden nugget as to what timeline we're talking about? We don't have to go that far, man. We don't have to go that far. This all just happened. Now, check this out. You see how they keep saying Kanka, right? Here it says Kanka is also Ganja or Ganji. Oh, but not the present Ganja. You sure? I guess we're talking about the OG one, not the one they calling Ganjas today. Dalai, sea like, Kain. This is where we pick it up at before. So it is not altogether clear if the high Amazon queens moved from residence to residence in a regular cycle, as did other Amazon or fairy queens. According to ancient medieval legends, there were a number of Amazon or fairy queens. Amazon or fairy queens. wife of Solomon, Labana, Lady Hannah, of Babylon. And you wouldn't even know that she has this Rubati Ghani situation going on unless you kept looking. Over here, you might stop right here and say, Babylon, okay. Is she Persian or something? As far as our mind bone's gonna tick until we start uncovering these layers by layers, man, breaking the spell. Now we've done on Hana. Let's check out the Exilarch Dawi. Son of Lady Hannah. So is this Lady Hannah perhaps the Bathsheba character in the script? You know what I mean? This particular one, Lady Hannah of Babylon. And maybe there's, of course, multiple Lady Hannahs under that title. It could be Hana, Anna, Anion. Has something to do with Anion. It could be Kana with the Khan. You know, I'm just saying. We're just talking Hana or Anna. But let's go. Okay. It is not altogether clear if the high Amazon queens moved from residence to residence. There were a number of Amazon queens in different parts of the world who all owed allegiance to the high Amazon queen. Or the Amazon high queen, the high queen, also had a seat on Antarctica before 1530. So when we see the Paris map, Antarctica with no ice, this is a real thing going down. It's a real thing going down in Antarctica, man, because the queens had a high seat there, which means that Israel had a high seat there. There was another in Africa, another in South America. There were a number of Amazon queen residences on Antarctica. There were a number of Amazon queen residents on Antarctica. A number of them. Antarctica's popping, right? Including the Ellsworth Mountains, Henderson Pyramids, and Prince Charles Mountains. More pyramid. They call them the Prince Charles Mountains. The pyramid is being called the Mountains of Prince Charles. Henderson Pyramid. So this is all popping in Antarctica. This is their spots, man. The area of Antarctica around Prince Charles Mountain was part of the Amazon Queendom of Sunda in the Middle Ages when it was snow-free. Snow-free. So they were working together with the Presters, the Amazon Harris would be usually reared with her father's family, and then at the age of 8 to 10, be sent to the Amazons for training for about 5 to 7 years, usually in the court of the Amazon queen or high queen. She would be married and live with her husband's family until the death of the Amazon queen, and then she would succeed her mother or grandmother. So it wasn't like they was just always having a whole island full of women by themselves and that was just it. I mean, you know, I'm sure they had their areas like that, perhaps, but you know what I'm saying? She would be married and live with her husband's family. So she went to be a wife. She lived with her husband's family until the death of the Amazon queen. Then she would succeed her mother. The role was a quasi-religious one, and the Amazon Queen not only had women warriors, but often groups of male warriors and seamen that served her. Let go. They had a matriarchal feudal society with the Amazon High Queen or the High Queen of Rhoda, with lesser Amazon queens in different regions of the world. So we know enough to know that when we connect the Prester Khan, then we know that they were working together, man. So you had, the house of Solomon or the house of David rocking in one area, and then you had his wife, Hannah, or, any other title. And she had her warriors and, was ruling her area. And under her, yes, were groups of male warriors. So you got to get all the perspective. So now you got these male warriors underneath the Amazon Queen, and this is what they're calling matriarchal feudal society. Now, what about her counterpart? Her counterpart, Prester John or Dawid or Solomon, is not considered as one of these groups of male warriors. He got his own setup going down, his own vortex that he's guarding. So you got to understand that they were guarding the vortexes. Sheba on one end, Solomon on the other end. High Amazon queens. They come together. They start rearing their family. If you're talking about the daughter, she goes with her father's family to the age of 8, and then she trains for 5 to 7 years. I mean, Naga, is it play? And then she goes to, do her thing. She gets married. You know what I mean? It's like, they have they flow. And then she pops off and, you know what I'm saying, does her Amazon Queen thing if that's her role. Or if her role is, as lesser Amazon queens, right? So you have the lesser Amazon queens in different regions. The Duchess, mistress of 1,000 Amazon warriors. So, this could be her role as one of the 1,000 warrioresses. The Marchianesses, mistresses of 500 Amazon warriors. Then countesses, mistresses of 100 Amazon, you know what I mean? So, it goes on and on and on. This is their flow. And this site got a lot of drop, man. Tanite or Danite. That's the one we just got. Barbary Queens, Amazon Queen. You got something on the Roger flow, huh? Hey, man, that's Prester John 59. I can dig it. Yeah, let's dig this, man. Perfect time. Hey, man, shout out to the Ellie Yahoo project. A lot of great work here, a lot of great work. This is one of the first links we got, man. I think back in Prester John 16 or something. Breaking down the cholas. And let's get it with a dragonfly, man. For the real one, Yosef the real, man. We always digging on these cholas, man. And you're going to see a lot of drop connecting in this drop. With a dragonfly perspective, my you're going to see a lot of drop connected in this drop right here. man. We're just talking panties. Talking chatteron. And we're talking Alania. Same Jadaron, but now he's called the Jadaron of Alania, husband of Rosadan, another high Amazon queen, or the same one now. Before they called her Hannah, right? Yeah, they said Hannah last time. We catching them slipping, boss. Right? Father of Exilarch David. Exilarch during the Babylonian captivity. The Georgians, the Russians. They got a Georgia in Russia. They got a Georgia, Antarctica. They got a Georgia, Antarctica, man. Love to. Who was that? Jackie Anthony, Peculiar Joy. One of my sisters dropped that. Ahab to my aquas. But no, we just talking Raja Hiraja Chola the second, or Prester John. See how the story got dropped in different places, different titles, different kings, different titles. They left one chronicle in the 1400s, the second they pushed back 300 years, the third 1,000 years, and the fourth 1,800 years of your history, man. 1,800 years. You just gotta meditate on that, man. Because right now we have a very shaky foundation. So they keep changing the name of these kings. Everywhere they dropping them. Everywhere they dropping them. Not surprisingly, in telling of the same king, city, or battle, they gave them totally different names. Body bag, Daniel. Body bag for the illusion. So don't trip on the different names, man. Don't trip on the different names, man. Don't trip on the cholas or the panties. But let's dig on the cholas and let's dig on the panties. They're talking Rusadon, but we're just talking Prester John or Jadaron. And now we got another Jadaron of Alania. So now you got to dig on the Allens and those sets, and that's going to lead back to the Scythians, which is going to lead back to the Scotians, Scots, Lady Scotia, Princess Scotia. We're going to lead back to the who? High Amazon Queens. This is Prester John 59. You should have been serving as well. But he's the husband of Rusadon. Oh, they didn't say Lady Hannah this time. We got another hard hit. Uh-oh. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Look how we just opened up Lady Hannah, my knock. This is the same Jadaron. Let's go back. I just want you to follow me now. Just want you to follow me now. This is Jadaron of Elania, father of King David. David who? Saul Slan, right? Soslan. This is the same Roger here, Roger, Prester John. He's the father of David, Saul Slan. Same Roger here, Roger. But over here, you don't know he's Roger here, Roger, Troller, Prester John. They don't say all that. But what they do lead you to is the water behind Lady Hannah. Because they don't like to give up a lot of drop on Lady Hannah. Oh boy. You're going to see how deep this goes. Even the history we know goes even deeper than that. Even deeper. Because this same Lady Hannah, let's click on Lady Hannah again, since we know that's the husband of President John, Jadaron, or Rusadon. All right, so where's her father? Where's her father? All they tell you is that this is who she married to, and these are her babies. They don't tell you nothing about her backstory. We had to, this is the wife of Roger Chola Jadaron. We had to go to Jadaron and go to his wife, which they call Rusadon. And we just said, who's the Rus? This is who Rusha's named after. Rusha. The Ann Rus. I love to the Lady Dragons on the wall, man. I'm just talking about the Ann Rus, man. Everybody surfing the wave on the Insta flow. On the Insta flow, know how it go. We just talking Ann Rus, man. Hey, man, we still popping off, man. We still blowing them trumpets, my noggin. We'll keep blowing the trumpet, man. Blow it with me, my noggin. Because we free, my noggin. Blow it with me, my noggin. Because we free, my noggin. Hey, man. What's up with them Rus, though? With them Rus hitting for? With them Rus hitting for? Surf the wave with us, man. You know what I mean? We over here just doing what we do. Love to Tech, man. Tech is dropping his drop, man. Tech drop, man. Love to Renata, man. She dropped a banger, man. We gotta get to this, man. City of the Golden Gates. City of the Golden Gates. Says anybody heard of the Golden Gates? Any connection to the Golden Gate Bridge, my knocks? We just talking Atlantis. Hey man, Aqua Renata been popping off, man. Hey, Tech been popping off, man. You need that Tech? Holla at Tech, man. If you need the Tech, man, holla at the Kumse. Shout out Tech, man, making it happen, man. Go surf the wave instantly with the bro, man. You know what I mean? Love to his, wonderful family, man. His wonderful flow is gonna give you the magic and them herbs, man. Love the Tech, man. Let go. Let go, man. So who's this Lady Roos, man? Who's this Roos we was talking about? Family crest of Andrews, Roosadon, right? Roosadon. Love to Tasha. She said, my family. That's what it is. Aqua, that's what it is. Roosadon, right? Roos. Hey, love, man. Peace to our mothers, man. Negro, you are the regal. Lady Dracon's on the wall. So when I mention Lady Hannah, and you see her mentioned as Roos, she comes from the house of Roos and Roos. Roosadon. Daughter of, whoa, now we got her her father pops up, right? So she's the daughter of David the Fourth, King of Georgia. Uh, Daughter of David the Fourth, King of Georgia. So this line, this lineage, I mean, it's like you have your tribe, and you have these Aquas coming out of, you know what I'm saying, all out of this tribe. You know what I'm saying? All these seeds of David or these seeds of Solomon. Check this out right here. Now, we're surfing the wave with this being wife of who? Prester John. This is how interesting this is going. I mean, you probably right there with me. Like, this is amazing because, you know what I'm saying, this is Prester John, right? But this lady Hannah, who is his wife, this Jadaron has a wife, right? And she is, right, mother of Solomon, mother of David the sixth. But she's actually the daughter of David the fourth. Now, who's that? See, to surf that wave, you're going to have to keep surfing the wave of, the lineage of David, right? Because David didn't just start the Davids, Manak. We're just picking up at that point of the story, but David's been popping off. This Melchizedek flow has been popping off now. How can we continue to follow it? We're gonna follow. Okay, let's just do this flow, and then we're gonna get back to some other stuff, connect some other stuff, and connect some other stuff. All right, let's go. All right, let's rock with this one first, and then we're gonna have to even surf around this because this don't tell you who his daddy is. Not this one. Not this one. This one stops right there, like he's just popping off by himself, right? But it tells you who he's the father of, who he's married to. If I go back to Jadaron, same thing. It's like they don't want you to know who's coming before this Prester John Jadaron. I feel like there was another Jadaron here too. I mean, I'm just surfing away with y'all, man. So those are the only two Jadarons they're gonna give me this time. Yeah, man. They used to have a lot more information than these two. You can tell that these have been switched up a lot as well. Because a lot of the same information that used to pop up, they got that stuff under wraps now. Alania. Okay. King of Alania, Ossetia, Alania. Now we're getting warmer, man. We're getting warmer. I'm just trying to break the code so we can try to see who Prester John's pops is according to some of this genie drop. Here you got the mother of Rusadon of Georgia and Tamar, Queen of Georgia. So this is Lady Hannah's mama. I don't think we got that on the other side. Okay, so we're going to keep this up. We're going to use this to cross-reference some stuff. Queen Consort Barina also plays back to the Jadaron of Eleni. There was way more island drop, man. Way more island drop, man. But it's all good. It's all good. So the Ossets and the islands, they all play. You know what I'm saying? The Ossets, again, connect back to the Scythians, back to the Amazon Queens. So these are all code words. You can go get all that drop. The Ossets, the islands, back to the Scythians, you know what I'm saying? Back to the Scotians, Lady Scotia, Princess Scotia. You know what I'm saying? You're talking about a Hebrew princess, man. You know what I mean? During this captivity, whether you're talking Egyptian, whether you're talking Babylonian, all the same damn thing. These King George the Firsts, Demetrius, all these are playing into this Hebrew kingdom, you know what I'm saying, under different names. There's all types of Georges. You have the hijack Georges and you have the OG original Georges, right? You have Genghis Khan, also called George, but you know, he's taking titles all day. We already know that, you know what I'm saying? So let's check out this Burdu Khan of Ossetia. Just as a side note, you know, we could put it over here. Ossetia, Allen. North Ossetia. So we're talking the Rus, like Rusadon, Georgia. There's not got much to it. Yeah, they're being real careful with the info, man. They trying to guard the info, man. Okay, well, let's just belly flop for a second, man. So the ancestors of the present inhabitants were people called the Alans, right? They're going to keep trying to take it to Iranian, Persian. But again, you are within this Persian community, right? This Iranian community, this Babylon community, Managa, because you're in Babylonian captivity. So this is where they're hiding your history. They say, oh, that's just Iranian. But what was happening according to the script with this Iranistan or Persia situation is Nebuchadnezzar. We're going to get it back in the book of Daniel because that's all relative at the same time period. Let's pick it up right here. For the Middle Ages onward, Alania was beset by external enemies and suffered repeated invasions. So this is all happening at the same time that this invasion is popping off everywhere else, man. The invasions of the Mongol Tartars in the 13th century decimated the population. So what war do you think this was, Managa? This is Prester John 59. What do you think was going on? They said what time? 13th century. When did Genghis Khan invade Prester John over his daughter? 1202. 13th century. The invasion of the Mongols and Tartars, they're just talking about, at this point, the Genghis Khan invasion on Prester John. And this decimated the population of Alania, which means they must have been rocking at that time with David, the Karakatai, against this, Genghis Khan super force, Manaki, all right? Who are now known as the Ossetians. Islam was introduced in the 17th century through the Kabordians. 17th century. So Islam has just been introduced in the 1600s. And again, none of these are the old links, man. They used to have way more drop on the islands, Ossetia. But that's good for now. You know what I'm saying? You can go get that. Go get that work. So they call them the ancestors of the modern Ossetians, the islands. That's why you keep seeing Alania pop up. And the islands spoke what they call Iranian language, right, which derived from Scytho-Sarmatian. So the islands are speaking, if you just want to study the philology, right, the language, the islands are speaking a Scytho language, man. So check this out. The word is preserved in the modern Ossetian language of the form Alan, various forms, Alani. These are other variants of Aryan in Iran. Common self-designations of Indo-Iranians, common ancestors, Indo-Aryans. So, when you're dealing with Aryans, you're dealing with people of a pure blood. That's all it really means is you got a pure blood connected to a pure blood. So what pure blood was these Alans connected to? Oz. I see. Oz. Okay. Let's get back to the Scythian, right? The Alans derived from Scytho. Sarmatian. Scythian languages, right? Now you're back in the Scythia situation, all right? Let's go. So we surfed away from the Ossetians to the Alans to the Scythians, right? You see how all this connects, right? So these Ossetians, the Alans are derived. They're coming from the Ossetians, they're saying. And then these islands are speaking the Scytho, right? Ossetian languages. I'm just checking out what they got on the Scythian tip. The Greek historian Herodotus provides another source of Scythian. Let's see his source. He reports that the Scythians called the Amazons or Pata and explains the name as a compound of or, meaning man, and Pata, meaning to kill. What does the Scythians have to do with the Amazon? What does the Scythians have to do with the Amazon? Alternatively, one scholar, so they're trying to say Ascetian means killed. Okay, so they're giving their best guess at the philology, the word breakdown, the etymologies. Alternatively, one scholar suggests Iranian awa or one wara, breast, one breast. Okay, the Amazons believed to have removed a breast to aid drawing a bow, according to some ancient folklores. Okay, all right, without breast, they're saying. Okay, so they keep connecting Scythians with these Amazon queens. You know, we're just surfing the wave through this, man. Victory lap. Scythians called the Amazons. Let's go. All we had to do was surf the wave to know that there's a connection going on between Amazons, Scythians, Alans, and Ossetia. Ossetia. Now, this is the mother of Rusadan, Bagratina. Uh-oh. I didn't even mean to get into the Bragatonis, man. I didn't even mean to get into the Bragatonis, man. But all that plays in the Kingdom of Georgia. So once you start getting into the Georgians, and you start getting into all these, you know what I'm saying, similar titles that are linking Israel and all these places. And what it looks like is that they took the history going down right here. This is connected to Prester, King David, Solomon, Anan, Canaan, Hannah, Sheba, Khalifa. You know, they're warring against Genghis Khan, right? These Ossetians, these islands, these Russes, all these families, all these nobles are warring against Genghis Khan and them, or the more and more war that we know is popping off. And they took that history and they threw it back in the BCs, man. Back in the BC. And they gave us a whole nother type of Rus. No longer are we remembering Lady Anne Rus. But they were at war against the hijack, against the invader, man, Clan Ross. Our mothers, the high Amazon queens, putting it down. We're about to get some of this Roger Hiraja Chola drop. But you know, we're just digging on Roosters. Don't mind us. Rusadan. Rusadan is the wife of Jadaron, husband of Rusadan, right? But now they open it up on both sides. So while we're over here just trying to find oh, yeah. There was another connection too. I just remember, man. I don't know how they said it. We'll see if it pops up. But we're just trying to find that link so we can get more history of this Jadaron, since they're going to go further with Jadaron's wife, Rusadam, right? So she's the daughter of David the Fourth. David the Fourth Bragantini. He said, uh-oh, here's these titles, these Bragantinis popping up. That's a whole nother recon, right? Just like the David the Sixth of Sauceland and all that. So, okay. And he's the son of Georgie, king of Georgia. Now, this is before Genghis Khan popped off over here, start talking Georgia, anything. They're saying he died in 1112. Was born around 1054. This reminds me a little bit of the Yellow Dashi situation, but, give or take these, timelines, man. So this king of Georgia, now this is all the ancestry of Lady Hannah. Then you know where she coming from, Sheba. These high Amazon queens, dodge the hijack images. Son of King George the First. So you see how this is going? You see how this is going, man? Son of King Bagrat. So that's where you get the Bagratoni dynasties. Bagratunis. All right, they're going back 900 on you, man. You don't know nothing about this history, right? They give you their images. You say, no, that's not me. We're still talking Alania. So this is the Alda of Alania. We got some of that Alda drop. So we ran back into her. Okay. Demetrius. Miriam, huh? Uh-oh. Could it be? Could it be? I don't know, y'all. We just surfing the wave, man. Could it be? Daughter of Johannes. All right. Let's slow it down a little bit. Let's slow it down. Miriam, another lady dragon on the wall. Shout out to my queens. Is the mother of Bagrat the Fourth. Maria Vaspura Khan. She's the daughter of Johannes the Second. So, wow. I'm just digging with it, man. Digging with you. So now they want to place this in Armenia. What did we just get with it? Anatoly Fomenko, not surprisingly, telling of the same king or battle, they give them different names. Same king, city, or battle. different names, different places, different battles, my God. So this lady Hannah or Sheba or this Rusadan, daughter of King George III, Georgie III, Georgia. Which Georgia really named after. Now, she's also the sister of Tamar. So I say Queen Tamar, man, love to the dragon, lady dragons on the wall. Because this Tamar is the wife. Now, here's where it gets really interesting, man. Here's where it gets really interesting. And then we're going to get back on our Roger shoulders. But she's the wife of David Sosling, right? She's the wife of David. Now, this is David, son of, this is David, son of David, son of Prester John. Where's my Exilarch drop? So this is her David right here. Same one we've been digging on. His father is also a David or a Prester John, priest king. Pandy, right? We're about to get on the Cholas and the Pandians, but we've been talking Lady Hannah. Now their son is David the Sixth Sosler. Another title. I wonder if this has anything to do with Susa. You keep hearing about this Susa. Lan could just be land of Susa. Because they've been talking about the Gadi, Mani, all that stuff. So all this has to do with land and territory. Especially when you talk Babylon and Georgia. So this is her David. All right, this is Queen Tamar's David. She's called the Great. You can do a whole series just on Queen Tamar, my nigga. Now, knowing that these are connected with the Rusadans, we know we're just still talking the same family, Rus. We're still talking the same family of Khans, Burdu Khan. We're talking the same Prester John Khan, Wan Khan, Karakatai, the same flow. We're just now able to see the pivot because we can see where Genghis Khan comes into the picture because suddenly the Ossetians are getting decimated by Genghis Khan. Alania was beset by external enemies and suffered repeated invasions. The invasions of the Mongols and Tartars in the 13th century decimated the population. We can now put that together and say, yeah, that's where the split happened. That's where this Genghis Khan Prester John war happened. So who was on which side of the war? Same thing with Tecumseh. Now everybody want to rock with Tech now. Everybody want to rock with Tecumseh now, but they sure were ducking and dodging and being real shifty back then, man. So what side of the war were you on? It's all good. Just, be honest about it, man. Be honest with yourself. So we can put together an honest dialogue, man. So these Ossetians were invaded by the Tartars. Okay. So these same Ossetians or Alans and all this, right, is all still connected back to Tamar, back to the Rusadans, daughter of George of Ossetia, or the Alans or the Scythians. Connect that with the Amazon, high Amazons. We're just talking Ossetia. Queen Tamar. Now check this out. She's the wife of David Soslan, right? This David. whose father is also Prester John, Raja Cho. She's the wife of David and ex-wife of Prince Uri, blah, 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 whatever this is. So this is her ex-husband. Now, I'm going to check something, man, and this might be crazy, man, but let me check something. David killed a man, right? What's the name of man King David killed? Oh, man. Prester John 59 going up. Bang, bang, bang. Hey, my naga, this is recon in real time. We're talking Uriah the Hittite was killed to get his woman, right? To get his woman, right? To get his woman, right? Uri, my naga. Uriah, my naga. Prince Uri, my naga, is Uriah, my naga, who was killed, they just say, ex-husband. They say estimated 1123 to 1175. When was the Prester John letter written? 1165. Just to show you that all this is rocking at the same dang time. So they start getting really Russian on you, but don't let them throw you off with their Russianness. They're just talking Uriah has taken his wife to be your wife. Whose wife? Has taken your wife. Uriah's wife. Taken by who? David Salsler. I'm just surfing the wave, man. I mean, is this what we're missing in the scripture about the true genealogy and the flow of David and why David's anointed, by the Creator personally, my not, you know what I'm saying? How does this Saul character really fit in? Because Israel wanted a king, so Hawa gave them Saul according to the script. But Saul ruled them like a king, right? And then Hawa gave him a Khan, a priest king, right? So there's a big vibrational difference between a, a king and a priest king, right? So we got the priest king. With the priest king comes the high Amazon queens. Sheba, Salima. In this case, we're talking Bathsheba and King David. And now we can go a little further. Uh-oh. Allow Hawa. Because remember, we got jammed up because it wouldn't let us dig further on who David's father was, right? We kept getting jammed up. We have here, then we got Raja Chola II. Hey, we're just having a good time, man. And Genie.com, man, going crazy. Right, so we got, yeah, but they don't tell us who his pops is, right? We just got, he's the husband of his father of that. Just like Lady Hannah over there. And then we had to crack the code, and we got the Rusadon, and then we started to dig on her pops, which led us all the way back to these Georgias, which then connected us back over to this Tamar situation, which goes back into Lady Hannah's situation, which goes back into the David Sauceless. Now, Lady Hannah, who's his mama? Ooh, that's interesting. They don't even say who his mama is, right? Why not? We're gonna say who his pops is. We got Queen Tamar. Now, how do we know? How do we know who his mama is? Go back to the other David Soslan, right? So we got it right here, which clearly says that his mama is Lady Hannah, or or Rusadan, or we're just talking Sheba. But this is way more evidence that we're just talking Sheba now that we know we're talking Uriah. And we have a what? Before we get to David's pops, we have a Prince Uri. Uriah and Uri, is it something? Is it nothing? You tell me. But this is now looks like it's tying into this biblical flow, this Uriah the Hittite, which means that we're just talking Sheba when we're talking Tamar, and we're talking Sheba when we're talking Hannah. One is Bathsheba, one is, Solomon and Sheba. But then you got a Sheba, oh, her mama would be a Sheba, and his father would be a David, and their mama would be a Sheba. And how far back does it go to the land of Mu, to the lands of Lemuria, and what I'm saying, Rodinia. We're talking Rodinia. How far back do we go? We're talking Uriah. You're talking Uri. Now, when I click on this David, it's going to give me his dad, which would be the same if I match it up over here, right? David, the sixth of Soslan. His dad is Prester John, Jadaron. So I would assume it would be the same here. When I click on his dad, it would say what? Jadaron, right? Except they put a D in front like Jedi. Who's the Jedi? Who's the Jadaron? Last Jedi? Jadaron. But now they just call him the King of the Islands. You see how confusing this could be? If you weren't surfing the wave, man. So all praise to one. Now he's the son of Atan. Uh-oh. We broke the code. First we broke down Hannah, and we got, mother of this, daughter of this, and we're going to get back on that. So we broke her code about who her papa is. Now we just broke down who Jadaron's dad is. Atan, king of the Allies. Okay. King of the Allies. Over here it doesn't say nothing about no Allens, right? So we got to put the Osets and the Allens and the Scotias, Scythians, Amazons, High Amazon Queens, Rubati, all that stuff. We got to put our own Chola investigation together. But over here, we got Jadaron, king of the Allen. So we just got the Allen connection. All right. Okay. All the same family. Now let's go. Let's go. Because the same Rusadon is Hannah. We know that. Sheba. Let's go. So who's Jadaron's papa, right? And watch this, my not. Who's Jadaron's papa? Atan, king of the Allies, right? Or Arians. Or Anions. Who's his dad? He's the son of another David. So over Prester John, right? So We done went 2 generations up past this Prester John. 2 generations up, and we're still at another David. You tell me, Hawah says that you're gonna seek David. Hosea 3 and 5. You didn't think we'll be seeking David, my name? Come on, man. Hey, we're just surfing the wave, man. Don't mind us. For the children of Israel will return. You're going to sit many days, my naga, without a king, so you wouldn't be searching. You had no prince, you had no khan. All your sacrifices, your sacred things, your pillars, your efforts, you don't got none of that. But afterwards, man, in the latter days, afterwards, you shall return, Israel. And you're going to start to search and go on an investigation to dig on the true frequency, the flow, the ancient love song of Hawah, your frame and your shaper, and David, your king or priest king, Prester John. So we keep running into more Davids because you're going to come trembling to Hawah and his goodness in the end of days. Are we just searching for Davids? He's the son of another David. So just like Sheba, this is being passed on. This title. And then you get to this Demetrius of Anacopia, and you keep seeing him pop up. So this Demetrius is a heavyweight. And he's the son of King George I of Georgia and Alda of Alania. So here she comes again. Now, these are way before Genghis Khan stole the title of George, man. These are the hijack free Georges, not the hijack Georges. I mean, hey, there's a hijack Kush and a hijack free Kush. Hijack Ethiopian and a hijack free Ethiopia, my nigga. Choose your Canaans. So he's the son of Bagrat III. So now we're getting into the Bragantonian dynasties, Bragantiani dynasties. And I'm sure there's all kind of different ways to break that down. Let's keep going, man. Y'all want to keep going? So these are the predecessor of these Davids and these Prester Johns. King Bagrat the second of Iberia. Okay. Iberia. Gurgen of Karti. Bagrat, king of Iberia and Kartli. King of Sumbat. Hey man, these are kings you ain't never gonna hear of, man. These are khans you ain't never gonna hear. Son of King Adarnasi. Son of Prince David. So we're back to another David. My knock. We had to just keep going, and we're back to another David. Now we're starting to tie in that period between the forbidden histories of America, man. Theodorus is, right? Solomon the Builders. Now this David's the son of another Prince Bagrat, so they're not even saying his name, they're just saying Prince Bagrat, which of course is connected back to a David. He's the father of David I, son of Ashtat the Great. Ashtat the First, son of Ardanasi of Tau. I mean, look, that's why I'm saying, man, the Prester John investigation continues because we got to dig on all this stuff, man. Okay, so this is as far as we got. Ardarnasi Bragantoni. He's the husband of, it don't even really say, do it. NN of Nersadine dynasty. Daughter of Nearest Prince of Iberia, 760. So, who's rocking an Eber in the 700s, man? 700s. And who's Adornasi Bragantoni? You know, just for fun, man. Since it's Prester John 59, we're going crazy. We're going cray-cray around here, man. Yeah, they got those little heritage sites, man, because they be, not all of them is as thorough as Gene. A lot of them are just little hijack sites for you to click on. And I'm sure some will pop up, worth looking at. Yeah, I'm just going quickly with you, but yeah, clearly, man, it's not a lot that they're going to reveal on some of this stuff. This is alternative history. I like alternate history because that's a lot of times that real spill. See if they're gonna connect this priest king here. Yeah, I'm gonna dig on this some more, man. Okay, it's tying in some of the Tamil drive. We're talking about the Tamil dynasties. That's gonna connect to the Cholas, the Pandya. I'll leave this link for you. You can belly flop in. Let me know if you see anything specific to our investigation in here, man. We're just pulling stuff up for a second. But we're back on these Hindus, and yeah, I got some Hindu drive, man, for the dismount, man. So let's keep going. Competing zone for Nestorians. We're getting closer, my nigga. We are getting closer. They're hiding our history all over the place. They're talking about the St. Thomas, over here. Connect that with the Sri Lanka. Now, all this is going to also connect with that land called Susa that we've been talking about that keeps popping up. Man, let's go, man. We got, as you can see, man, it gets too real. So we just talking who? Ardarnis Bragantoni. And we're going to do some drop on that. Let's get this right quick. Prester John was Raja Hiraja Chola II, Jadaron Bragantoni. So you see how far back that Bragantoni went. First Christian Empire. Come on, man. All right, we could dodge the hijacks. We could dodge our fourth wave. All right. So we'll just say Emperor of the Three Indias. He was grandson through his mother, Kolatunga Chola II, and Cholan, or Kolan, Soli, Emperor of the Three Indias. His father was a Bragantoni Prince Atan. So we got that. Way, way back. Atan, right? King of the Islands. His son is David Bragantone. His father is Jadaron, right? Back to Prester John. So We just picking it up, man. I mean, these are separate sources. This is the Eli project. It has nothing to do with Genie, but we're connecting these sources in real time. So his father was this Prince Atan. Now, why would they call him a Christian, man? Come on, let's go. According to historian N. Sutherman, Raja Haraja was not the direct descendant of Raja Chola II, but was a son of his sister. Raja Haraja Chola II chose Raja Haraja as his heir in 1166, as he did not have any sons of his own. Just trying to compare this to the script, you know what I mean? Compared to, how David is coming in. Was he, not in a specific succession, you know what I'm saying? Or was he coming in, with this, lineage, you know what I'm saying? This heritage already intact, or was he starting a brand new flow, you know what I'm saying? Love the Templar, he always talks about going from David to David as if it's the beginning of a brand new flow. Was he coming in to begin a brand new flow? Let's go. Prester John was succeeded by his younger brother Kalutanga Chola III when Prester John retired to be a monk or a hermit. So we got this Prester John, being a nomad, right, leading these tribes in the desert, these different things. Connect. Kalathunga helped Prester John's son Vikrama Pandian by his Pandian wife. Vikrama. Okay, so we got a Pandian wife. Pandian. So are these Pandians the same as these Tahamas, the same as these Georgians, the same as these so-called Babylonians? I mean, are you just talking about a traveling group of nomads, different places, labeled different things based on where they're at, where they're guarding the vortexes? So Kalathunga helped Prester John's son, Vikrama, by his Pandian wife to become the Pandian king. Pangea. Vikrama's son Jatavarman rebelled against his Cholan cousins, but was defeated and submitted to Cholan overlordship. Jatavarman's brother Matavarman, on succeeding him, attacked the Cholans and became the emperor of the three Indies. He restored the policy of the religious tolerance in the empire like his grandfather, Prester John, so they started to keep the code again. However, his son Martavarman Sadari II was defeated by Rajendra Chola III, the grandson of Kalathunga Chola II, or third, Maravarman II's son Jatavarman III seized back the throne of the three Indies. Like sound like Game of Thrones. So you gotta tie in this history with what you think you know about the Hebrews, what you think you know about the script, and the indigenous truth, and Texas, and all that. It's time to weave it and see what we got. I mean, in the script, was it all these takeovers going down with Israel back and forth fighting northern tribe, southern tribe, northern tribe, southern tribe? Theodorus against Sylvanus, Texas. You know what I mean? This is all one flock at war because they all want to get the keys, my knock. They want the territory, they want the keys, they want the three Indies. His son Ramban, was killed by his illegitimate son Vera when he declared his legitimate son Sandara as his heir. Vara Rambam, right? Come on, man. Come on, man. Talking phantoms and duplications, another Moshe popping up, right? Commonly known as Maimonides, also referred to by the acronym Rambam. Okay. So again, the David flow and the Moshe flow correlate a lot. Now that we know we're just talking the Prester flow and the Rambam flow, or the Maravara Rambam. We're going to get back on that Sefer Hamas. Whoa! We just digging on the code. Positive and negative commandments. All right, Rambam. So now you got a civil war breaking out, just like Israel. Sandora asked for Muslim help. So again, back it up. We're just trying to connect this to the script, connect this to the flow with a dragonfly perspective. Let's go. So Jata Varman restored the code like his grandfather Prester John. Now who would that be just surfing the wave? Since we know we got Raja Chola right here, we're talking about his grandfather. So you can either go through right here, David Salslin's son. It could be a son of Hanan. You could just be talking about Hesdai. Isn't there a Hasdai or Hesdai in the script as well, right, man? So look, man. Hesdai the sixth of Babylon. That would be the grandson of Prester John. Raja. You could be talking about one of Hanan's son or Kanan's son. And this is another major character right here, this Hanan. Because many times they spell it with a C in front, and it looks very close to Canaan. Or Conan the Barbarian. Come on, man. So this is Hanan. It doesn't say that he has any children, at least on this one, but you know how these things go. You just got to crack the code. So let's get back to it. So one of Prester John's grandsons restores the code, all right? But his son, Madhavarman Sundari, he got defeated by Rajendra Chola. All right, so here comes a takeover. Here comes a coup. Grandson of Kolu Thanga. All right, so same family, but here's the coup. Marvarman II, son Jadavarman III, seized back the throne. Right, sounds a lot like Game of Thrones and the Forbidden Histories of America. You know what I'm saying? It says Theodorus reconquered the lands of America. His son Marvarban, or Rambam, killed by his illegitimate son Vera when he declared his legitimate son Sandara as his heir. So Mara Rambam killed by Vara because Sandara was declared heir. Civil War broke out. Sundari asked for help. Right? Remember, Sundari was defeated by Rajendra. Sundari asked for help. The Muslims eventually seized power for themselves. So they asked their brothers for help. They seized the power for themselves. Sundara's daughter, who married the Australian or Antarctican Javanese king of the Rubani Gadimani. Here we go again. We're just talking Reuben, Gad, and Manasseh. Proclaimed Empress of the Three Indias. So she was the High Amazon Queen. She's the Empress. Sundara's daughter. Now, it doesn't give us a name for her, right? But she's the Empress of the Three Indias. From about 1350 to 1530. Her descendants who followed an Indianized Jewish Christian faith. Come on, man. Come on, man. Why can't they say that these are indigenous Hebrews? Instead of saying indigenous Hebrews, they say Indianized, Jewish, kind of Christian, but it's faith. Reigned as the Prester Johns or Pandian emperors of the Three Indies. So the Prester Johns are the Pandian emperors. What's the Pandia about? When you start digging on it, you got the Pandians, you got the Cholas, you got at least about two other ones, you know what I'm saying, that are all, going, back and forth, trying to get the power, trying to get the power. Raja Chola II, Jadaran, the first Prester John, even though he has a father who was a David, but, he's the first, anointed king? Anointed king by who? By the Creator. I mean, he came from, this heritage, but was he the first to really, truly be anointed priest and king by the Creator? The first Prester John? And Genghis Khan goes to war with him in 1202? Emperor of the Three Indias, right? The so-called Voynich manuscript. Uh-oh. That's a whole nother investigation, right? Because everybody trying to crack the code, but no one could crack the code. MIT, no one could crack the code of the Voynich manuscript because it's your code to crack. The Voynich manuscript is a 15th century copy of an original which was written by him in the 12th century by who? The first Prester John is the author of the original 12th century Voynich manuscript. 12th century, 1100s, Prester John letter written in 1165. Got it. The language is a Hebreo-Georgian Indian Hebrew language of the royal house. Of the royal house. The royal house, which they call Hebreo-Georgian Indian language. We're just talking the Hebrews, man. The indigenous Nagas. The regal Negro. His son by his black Pandian wife. Okay. Was King Vikrama Pandian. He had at least 3 sons by his Jewish wife. Why don't they just said Hebreo? Why can't they say Hebrew? Why they keep saying Jewish? Because they're trying to twist it for another, what's that word? Demographic, another demographic of people that go under the ishes. They're trying to make it an ish thing. But man, you can't take that. You can't take that ish no more serious, man, than Sunday night cartoons, man. You're just talking Judah, man. You're just talking Judah. Wife, he had at least 3 sons by his Hebrew wife, Lady Hannah. Well, who's this Gaverette? I mean, why not, man? Why not, man? It's the worst that could happen. If I Google Gaverette Hannah. Computer cannot compute. Oh man, we always keep popping up, man. I guess we got some track record going on, right? So everyone's relating to the exact same article, man. So that's how rare this, I mean, it's not a lot you gonna find, man. You gonna hit these points, Rap Nation. You're gonna hit these points, man. When you put in something like Gaverette Hannah, that's all you're gonna get. All of these back to the same document, man. Lady Hannah of Rubati Ghani Mani. Lady Hannah of Tehama. Wife of who? Wife of Judah Managa. Uh-oh. Wait a minute. I didn't even see this one. Wait a minute, man. The Rodin, Managa. Mother of Prince Joseph of Rubati Ghani Mani. Okay. So Hannah, I gotta scratch my head on it. Princess Hannah. Also known as Princess Rusadan. Now her mother is also a Rusadan. You just say Rusadan of Armenia or America. Ex-wife of David IV. Mother of Dimitri. So how did she become David IV's ex-wife? Also mother of Princess Tamar. But it won't give us any more mothers right there. Okay. So this Rusadan clearly is a title. Back to the Bracketonis. back to the same lady Hannah, but now she's the wife of Judah. So Judah must still be Raja Hiraja Chola. But now he's being called Judah the First. Here's this Rubati Gotti. So, I don't know if it's just the, Reuben, Gad, Manasseh. Sure, it looks like it. But, you're talking Judah, right? So, how does it all play? I'm sure we're going to get there. I'm sure we're going to get there. Now it says this Judah. All right. So this would be Jadaron. He's the son of Solomon II. So another title. So the same Atan that they were calling Atan. Oh, we just switched it up. But yeah, that same Atan will be lining up with this Solomon. That's as far back as they're going to give us. They're going to reverse it back over there. So, okay. All right. Hannah. His son David Slauson became the Babylonian exarch and the husband of Queen Tamar of Georgia. His son Hanan, or Hani, became Prince King of the Jews of Tehama. His son Solomon was the Jewish or Hebrew Prince or King of Talmas, who married Queen Lembu or Labana of the Ruban. So all these are high Amazon queens connected to the Khans. And then they're going to try to, connect us with this Vishnu, identify with Christus and all this stuff like that. And some of this stuff is just, what I'm saying, a veneration and a twisting of the Hebrew flow that was already here. What I'm saying? And they deified, David in different ways, Sheba in different ways. Sheba could be their deification of Shiva, but perhaps they flipped it into some crazy destructive situation. But water can be chaos. Water can be chaos. So we got to be open to seeing how this flows now. You got the Cholans, right? The Cholas. He rebelled against his Cholan Hindu cousins. Back to the Hindu Kush. Who was king of the Hindu Kush? Moshe, Rambam, Madhavarman, Sundara, Pandyan defeated the Cholan Empire, became the second Prester Emperor of the Three Indies. He married his cousin Princess Radha, daughter of Soliman I. And on and on. Back to the Limbus. Alright. So you see it, man. Have some fun with this. Have some fun with that. Connected because you're going right back home to the Regals, to the Nagas, to what they call Tartars, what they call Mongols. You know what I'm saying? We've been able to bridge all this together, Managa, in a real way. If you're going to make a bridge, make it a bridge to life. Connecting life. Connect the Russes with the Ossetians, with the Bragantonis, with the Allens. Connect that with the Jadaron flow. Connect the Jadaron flow, Managa, back to the Dawit flow. Back to the Shebas and the Hannas. Who's Daniel Alcoon? A Cariot settlement prospered in the Holy Land, for which it spread as far as northwest Africa and Christian Spain, a barrage of Cariot treaties presenting new views of scriptural exegesis, stimulated renewed study of the Bible in Hebrew language. Okay, but who's Daniel Alcoon? Hijack City. Hijack City. No, I don't want to sign up for nothing, man. I just want to drop. Man. Let's get it over here. Daniel Al-Kum. So you see the two different spellings already. We could say Kum. All right, Kum means to rise. So who's the Most High? Rising. Who did the Most High keep rising throughout the book of Daniel? He rise to the top spot under this Nebuchadnezzar, right? Daniel chapter 2, verse 48. Then the king made Daniel great and gave him many gifts and made him to rule over the whole province of Babylon. Stop. So the Presters were ruling over Babylon, even though they were in exile, which is why they're called exilarchs, because they were ruling Israel. They were appointed to rule Israel. But in this case, he ruled over the whole province of Babylon. All these titles: Judah, Raja Hiraja, David Soslan, Babylon. So, Daniel was appointed ruler over Babylon. Now, how's this important and how's this connected to King David, Manak? Well, you're talking Kiliab, Khan, also known as Daniel, Khan, who's the second son of David, king of Israel, Khan. But they never taught you that, Khan. Why would you even search for it? You had no reason to, right? You're talking about David's second son, Kiliab or Daniel. Daniel, also known as Kiliab. Kiliab, also known as Daniel's second son. David's son with his third wife, Abigail. Unlike David's elder sons, Amnon, or we're just talking Hanan, brother of Hanan. Amnon, Absalom, Adonijah. Important characters in 2 Samuel. Kiliab is only named in the list of David's sons and no further mention is made of him. No further mention. I wonder why. Because see, Kiliab or Daniel, what does his name mean? First of all, just know that you're talking about a sinless man. Second son, Kiliab, was not a contender for the throne of Israel. Whoa. That sounded a lot like the Raja Hiraja flow, how he wasn't a contender, and then suddenly he's being made Exilar, even after the death of. Hold up, man, right quick. According to this historian, Southern man Rajahiraja was not direct descendant of Rajahiraja Chola II, but was the son of his sister. Rajahiraja Chola II chose Rajahiraja as his heir in 1166, as he did not have any sons of his own. Though being the second son, Gilead was not a contender for the throne of Israel. Even after the death of his firstborn Amnon, the thirdborn Absalom, and fourthborn Adonijah, he may have died before his father. Later rabbinic traditions name him as one of the 4 ancient Israelites who died without sin. That just means that they weren't breaking the code. They weren't putting the power before the power. They were keeping Shabbat, basic stuff. It's not some craziness, without sin, perfection. It's just that they're keeping the code. We've always had the remnant. We've always had code keepers, Managa. Other 3 being Benjamin, Jesse, and Amram. So Jesse, son, father of David, is also a sinless man. Father of Moses, Amram, is also a sinless man. David and Moses' pops are both sinless men. Gilead known as Daluya in 2 Samuel. Daluya. Now check it. According to Rashi, Rabbi Isaac said that some question whether Abigail was pregnant through David or her firstborn. So this Abigail could be any of those Hannahs or Tamars, you know what I'm saying? One of them had, the ex-husband Uri, or this ex-husband here, but she was pregnant through David or her first. They didn't know if she was pregnant through David or the firstborn. So they, we're going to take other actions. But Hawa arranged that Gilead would resemble David. Is it possible his name Gilead, which can be translated perfection of the Father, is referring to that legend? So his name means perfection of the Father. You're talking Hawa, you're talking David. He resembles David. He's a perfect resemblance of David, this Gilead or Daniel. Alcum, because they want to put him back where? In the BCs, Managa. They want to put David back in the BCs. Or we're just, talking Gilead. Hidden in the Kariot history, we're talking Qumran, right? We're talking Kumis. And how does this all relate to this Kirkasani or Jacob Kirkasani, Managa? They're all writing the code, right? They're all writing their own Sephardim as well. They're all writing their own book of precepts or commandments. And they had an issue, this Hanan had an issue with Daniel. Now, in this theory, we're having an investigation, but Hanan, Anan is Hanan. Just take the H and put it there. Hanan, son of David, right? Hanan, Anan, also known as Aniyan. Or Arnon, right? Love to the wave surfers. Daniel, Kun, his brother is Hanan. And they're having an issue where he's now inviting opposition to the Ananites the Ananites, the Anan ben Davids, because they had a different style of their carriers and that, different way they want to keep the code. They both were keeping the code, but they had fundamental differences as to who's keeping the purest code. Right? And yeah, man, it connects back to this Maimonides. Moses Maimonides, Sefer HaMitzvot. So these particular characters, man, keep popping up. Whether you're talking, I'm saying, Talmud, whether you're talking Quran, you know what I'm saying? This Daniel flow is all throughout that. But Daniel is the second son, was the second son of King David. So they don't call him Daniel in any of the genealogies, but we have an Anan or a Hanan. His brother is Soliman. So Daniel is also Solomon's brother. But based on which genie you gonna pick up, you're gonna get certain differences in the children and the genealogies, man. If you get any, this Jadaron, father of David, ain't gonna give you nothing else. But click on this David Soslan, see if they say anything about his brothers, okay? Half brother Atan. I think this Atan is the same as the Soliman flow, but that's for more discussion. For more discussion. So here it says Anan means cloud. Israel led out by a cloud by day, right? Original Anan was one of the Israelites who sealed the covenant after the return from Babylon. So look, we're talking to exilarchs. And every time you get in the story, whether you're talking about this or the Kofar al-Tarak, you see who they were rocking with and who they were colliding with, right? They were colliding with the more and more situation. The Mohammedans, same thing as the Kofar al-Tarak. So Anan, cloud, he sealed the covenant. What does it mean? After the return from Babylon. So it seems to be, the main issue here, man, is that Israel elects their own leaders, man, Exilon. Daniel was elected by Nebuchadnezzar, right? The king made Daniel great. The king, what king? Nebuchadnezzar made Daniel great. Because, Daniel interpreted his dream. The king spoke unto Daniel, of a truth it is, your God is the God of gods, the king, the power of powers, man. The great spirit, Lord of kings, revealer of secrets. Then the king made Daniel great, gave him all these gifts, made him to rule over the whole province, right? And be the chief prefect over all the wise men of Babylon. So he was made exarch by Nebuchadnezzar. That's a problem in Israel, Managi, because Israel elects their own exarchs, Managi. So yeah, that's a great thing. Hawa gave them favor, but on the other side of the family, they just weren't having that. You know what I'm saying? and you would get it too. You know what I'm saying? You see your brother being held up suddenly, in America. Like imagine it being America today. You know what I mean? And one of your Israelite brothers, he's the he becomes, Secretary of State or something crazy. You know what I'm saying? You're like, whoa, man, you must be hijacked, bro. But hey, Hawa gave him a great office to protect the children, right? And Daniel requested of the king, and he appointed Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. And I said, another Meshach? Man, get on the last trial. We just dug on Meshach, man, out of Japheth, and Meshach out of Shem, and how Josephus is using the Meshach flow. But right quick, we just, you see what's happening with this David and this Daniel and being appointed, Exarch. Now, Anan had he got his own situation, right? He's one of the Israelites who sealed the covenant. What do you mean, Exarch? Daniel, I just sealed the covenant. So, this was a family situation, Anan ben David. He should set himself to expound all ambiguous precepts of Torah in a fashion opposed to traditional interpretation. So, what is this chariot? What is the Cariot's all about? We keep seeing about this Cariot situation. Who are the Cariots? We know we're connecting with the Kara Katai. Kara means black. See how they spell it with a Q? Q-A-R? Or a K, right? Kum or Kum, Khan. Now, all you need to really know about these Cariots, man. They say a Jewish religious movement. Okay, we're just talking about code-keeping Nagas that they're calling a Jewish religious movement. Code-keeping Nagas, characterized by the recognition of the written Torah alone as the supreme authority in halakha, or the collective body of Jewish religious laws derived from the written and oral Torah. Halakha is based on the biblical commandments, subsequent Talmudic, rabbinical law, and customs of traditions compiled in many books such as Shulchan Aruch, Managas. They rock with the Torah alone as supreme authority. All this subsequent business is how they started splitting off. They rock with Torah, Managas. This is what we're talking about. Nestorians, Carians maintain that all the divine commandments handed down by Moses, by Hawa, were recorded and written in the Torah without additional oral law explanation. You ain't got to add nothing to this. That's where they went off. And this is these Jews today. They go, oh, all Talmud, all oral. Oh, Nick Cannon, you must respect the Talmud and the oral law. What about what's written in our Torah? Who are the children there? It is distinct from mainstream rabbinic Judaism, which considers the oral Torah as codified in the Talmud or subsequent works to be authoritative interpretations of the Torah. No, Hijack City. We don't consider oral Torah Talmud as codified. That's not our code. That's Hijack City. We are the code keepers. We are the code keepers. We are the code keepers. Kariat Jews do not accept as binding the written collections of the oral Talmud. Kariat, Karakatai, the Karakatai of Prester Jamanaga. Kariat do not accept that oral bull crap, man. When interpreting the Torah, Kariat strive to adhere to the plain and most obvious meaning of the text. This is not necessarily the literal meaning, but rather the meaning that would have been naturally understood by the ancient Israelites. Managa, they talking about you. When the books of the Torah were first written, man. So they're going back to the top. They're keeping it ancient. Love, song. That's what a Kariat is. That's what a Karakatai is. A Karakatai is a Kariat, Managa. talking Q's and we're talking K's, right? Also means what? Black Catan or Black Cathay. My black Naga, where is Cathay? And this seems to be the connection to it all. Because these black Catans, right? These Kara Catan are all connected to the Kitai or Kate of the priest king, the Prester. We got to dig on these Laos. Connect that back with the Tangu, but these are the Kara Katais. Or the Katan. Let's get some more drop on it. We got to dig a lot deeper on the Yellows, Managi. You know what I'm saying? The Yellow Dashis. These are the original Presters, man. So when you start looking into it, you at least start to have those breadcrumbs that you can keep connecting to, whether you're talking Khan or Kin or Chin or China, right? The China is just the Khan or the Kin or the Khan or the Chin. The Karakatai did not convert to Islam, my brother. So we rocking the code of the Karakatai. We rocking the code of the Kofar, which they call Kefir. The ancient Ugairs or the Picts. You're talking Jins, you're talking Kins. Man, it really is so much more to connect. We're making a great dismount on Prester John Fitted 9, man. We've been surfing the wave, man, connecting. Just making it feel good, man, because, this knowledge should feel good sinking in, man. It should feel good sinking in. So again, Cathay, former name of China. Former name of China. So when we see Cathayo on the maps today in America, in India Superior, we're going to dig more on this yellow dashi. Because this is going to connect you to so much more with these gherkins. These gherkins are the Kins, right? The Kenites. These are the Rechabites, Malaga. This is the Kofar al-Tariq. Let's go. Gherkins are the Kin dynasty. The Western Karakanids. Karakans. So many ways to flip it. In this battle of Katwan, man. This is a major battle, man, that popped off with the Karakatai, man. You could do a whole series on this battle alone, man. That's how important it was. Fought in September 1141. Karakatai, Western Lao, and the Seljuk Empire and its vassal Karakanids. More and more war. Stories of this battle told during the Second Crusade filter back to the Holy Land inspired stories of Prester John. body bag for the illusion. And that's where it all leads to. The Karakatan, the Katai, the Kariot Judaism that is rocking with the Torah alone, with the Prester alone, with the Moshe alone, the Daniel Kum or the Kiliot, who has his place in this Karakata, the Jacob Kirkasani, that has his place in the Karakata, Yaqub al-Kirkasani, Kariot, literal understanding, scripturalism under Islamic rule. Yeah, man. More on more war. We're talking Moabite, we're talking Ammonite, we're talking Psalms 83 Confederacy. You can check out the contents. I'll drop this, all these links are for you, man. All this is for you to dig on. Again, Kariism, Jewish or Hebrew movement, distinct from mainstream rabbinic Judaism, considers the Hebrew Bible as the single source of authority. Not the Talmud, my nugget. Right? So, over and over, and you got these ex-lars, popping up, parts of the family. You got this Kirkasani, al-Kirkasani. This is all about the code, all about the law. Al-Kirkasani and his writings, we're just talking about Jacob, my nugget. After which I will discuss the definition of the scripturalism. For example, does this term merely relate to authority? Okay. So he breaks it down. Maybe we'll pick this up next time. But, this lets you know that it's deeper than rap when you talk Kariots and when you talk Al-Kum and when you talk Kirkasani. They call Yusef, Yaqub, Ishak. Man, look at that name. Look at that name right here, man. His surname, Kirkasani, indicates that he was either from Circassia, okay, located in the vast plain now known as northwest Iraq, Syria, Turkey, or from Carcassan, a small town near Baghdad. Or we can have our own philosophy dealing with this Karakata and these cards. And they're all, writing their code, interpreting the script. It was very important for the exilarchs, man, to have a very solid foundation. And that's what this schisms were all about. All right, I'm gonna leave it for you. Before I get too deep into this. I start surfing the wave. But yeah, man, I already know they got some super drop in here too, man. So Al-Kasani shows a preference for the or non-literal meaning in a few cases, clearly expresses the reasons why he departs from the literal sense. These reasons are related to the Islamic viewpoints in theology and rational philosophy, as well as linguistic, grammatical, and exegetical framework that developed in the Islamic reality. Additionally, I would argue that the situation in which the receiver of the utterances resides is important and defining why a specific literal or non-literal meaning is preferred. This is a religious, political, and social situation that influences how a body of scripture is to be interpreted and why this interpretation is authoritative. The context and situation of Karaism in the 10th century is one of polemics, which with rabbinical Judaism, principally with rabbinic scholar Saadya Gayan, or this is just John Manak. Another way of saying John, Ja'an. It is also set against the background of its Islamic surroundings and its own stances of thought and history and heterogeneous movements. Heterogeneous movements. All right. Finally, the Karaite origins are elusive and equally marked by diversity. Therefore, the next sections will describe this context and history before turning to a literal understanding of Al-Qur'ani in his principles of biblical exegesis. So, digging as much as you dig on these Karaites, you know what I mean, you're gonna be right there in the pocket of popping off, man, with these XLRs right here at this period of time, man. You know. And again, man, this Meshach situation, man, we really popped that off in the last few drops. You know what I mean? Because, there's a whole... Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. We just talked about the genealogy of Shem. The genealogy of Shem. And you have a Meshach. But before that, they keep, trying to put Meshach in Japheth. You know what I'm saying? Josephus don't know what he's throwing Meshach around, trying to fit him in, trying to squeeze in a Meshach. This is based on his work, Josephus or Japheth. He describes 7 sons. One of them he puts Meshach. So if Japheth has a Meshach, now we're just going to get into these duplications for the dismount. Japheth got him a Meshach. Shem under Aram got him a Meshach. Aram, almost sound like that Rambam. And then Joktan, look, man, check out Joktan, man, under Eber. He's popping off Jobab, Havilah, which plays a lot when you dig on Kush. Havilah keeps playing off. There's a whole kingdom near Eden called Havilah, right? Ophir, Sheba. Look at all this popping offness of Joktan. Joktan is popping off. Ophir. But they don't really talk Joktan and they don't really talk Ashur that much. Look how they cut off these genealogies. You know what I'm saying? You see nothing under the Meshachs or Gather, Whole, Uz, nothing under them. Nothing under Elam or Ashur. As if they just, had no lineage, right? But since I said I'm going to throw y'all a deep one and y'all going to take it to the house, we just surfing the wave with, putting a K in front of this like they've been doing. And with the Hanans and Kanans. And you have Kash. Now what? Why is Kash important? So, so far we got with 3 Meshachs, and then you got Meshach and Abednego, and they're in the fire, and they don't get burnt. Which Meshach could that be? Okay, all right. Because they've been looking for the priest king, Managa. You see them, over and over again depicting Prester John and every single thing. You got Indiana Jones. You got this Holy Grail situation. Marco Polo wrote that Prester John perished before the blade of Genghis Khan. The invasion, right? The Alans, the Ossetians, the Shi, the Tengu, the Holy Grail, the wonderful Ethiopians. This is off of theology101.org. The ND are the wisest of mankind. The Ethiopians are a colony of them. Yeah, man. Who is Prester John? Who's paying him tribute? They are all colonies under King David. We're talking the Hindu, right? Hindu. Hindu Kush, right? Holy Grail. The dignity and sacred king is often accompanied by biblical reminiscences by presenting Prester John as the son or nephew of King David, and sometimes as King David himself, King David of the Hindus, who was called by the people Prester John the King. Prester John descends from the son of King David, or like they said, is King David himself. Prester John is King David himself. King of the Indians or the Indies or the Hindus. Hindus, right. Everybody's looking for him, man. Indiana Jones got their whole thing, wrapped around this priest king, holy grail scenario. Invaded by Genghis Khan. Even the name Hindu is Ethiopian. We're just talking Abyssinians. We're just talking the ND, which are the wisest of mankind. Ethiopians are colonies of them. And they inherit the wisdom of their fathers. The separation of India from the parent Kushite stock was in ages long before the rise of the so-called Aryans in India. Rise of the Aryans, or the Alans. The older Greeks always associated the sacred waves of the Indian Sea with the wonderful Ethiopians. Euphorus stated that they accompanied all the southern coast of Asia and Africa, as in Chaldea, they brought to the aboriginal tribes of India the knowledge of metals to take the place of stone implements. Okay. So, Hindu, King David. We've just been talking about this Kushism, man, and let's see what we got here for the dismount. We're just talking Kush. This is from the journals.uchicago.edu. Page 9. I mean, get this from the top, you know what I mean? But I'm just belly flopping. So even when you go to page 8, let's go to page 8. The land of Havilah, right? Remember Havilah. Remember Havilah, son of Joktan, right? Okay. Land of Avila. So we know we're talking Shem, son of Joktan. But look how they, start flowing this over to some Hamitic thing, right? So around the Pishon flows in the eastern and northern part of Syrian desert, west of the Euphrates. We already got that the Euphrates is where. So we know we're having a party over here. Yeah, man, you gotta get to the drop. Gotta get to the drop. Where's the Euphrates? Where's the Euphrates? So they're, painting these gachet, advertisements in 1700, Managi. Viewers' imagination, most would never travel to America, but the poster offers an opportunity to encounter that faraway place. So this is an opportunity to see America, Managi. But what happens? He paints a colorful couche of several tapirs grazing peacefully in the waters of what is undoubtedly meant to be the Euphrates River in America. They're trying to get them to America, and they are painting the Euphrates River in America. We're just talking Havilia, which means we're just talking Shem, because we're just talking Joktan, which means we're just talking Shem, just like Meshech. So, how they say Japheth is hiding in the tents of Shem, Meshech's all over the place. So is Kush, though. But, they have two Kushes, man, because one we're just talking Kash, and one we might be just talking Kush. Right now we're just talking Havilia for the dismount. Across the Euphrates, where's the Euphrates? Is Maradak Baladan, actually ruled in Havala. Right here it says the Joptanites, all right? So favored by the position of the Havala as last but one of the Joktanites, where it is the limit of the Ishmaelite territory. So they are coming from Joktan here. Where does it start getting crossed up, man? So they keep saying this land of gold, right? Like cities of gold, precious stones. Pishon. So everything's connected right here to Eden, right? Literally, Garden of Eden. Okay, so here's where it looks like it might be getting crossed. So let's go. Let's talk Kush. Now it says Kush is not Ethiopia. Well, not the Ethiopia they're talking about. We ain't talking Africa, my naga, because they keep talking Asia. But the land of Kasu and Babylonia. Come on, man. What about Babylon, though? Well, we got the Exilarch, Dawi of Babylon, huh? Exilarch during the Babylonian or Genghis Khan or Tartarian takeover, but let's go. Kasu in Babylonia. Now they're going to throw Nimrod out there, but watch how this plays. Son of Kush, okay. Several of the descendants of Kush in Genesis 10 are not demonstrably the heads of African tribes. Some of them are certainly Asiatic. The presence of Kushites in Babylonia is likely from the mention of Nimrod, the Kassite Greek, whose ancient home was in the mountains of the borders of Media and Elam. So they're connecting the Kush to the Kassite, which is also connected to the Kash. They're saying that the home is in the mountains in the border of Media and Elam. Back to the genealogy of Shem. Elam, Ash. Where are they getting this other Kush Cash from? You know what I mean? And how does this really playing, man? Like, what's really popping with this? Because they don't know who did or built these cities. If it was Ashur or Nimrod, they don't know. But Nimrod's over there in Ham under that Kush, and then you have this Kash, another Kush, who has a whole genealogy, and then you got this Joktan who got the Havili, and all this is happening with Shem, and they're gonna try to connect all this with Ham. They're gonna try to put this in a whole nother place. All right, so Assyrian pronunciation, Babylonian, Kazdu, probably the same as Kasu, border, territory. It may be agreed whether or not there is sufficient evidence of ethnological relationship between Asiatic tribes and African Kush. Certain Asiatic tribes were, for some reason or another, associated with Kush. Why, for some reason or another, are Asiatic tribes associated with Kush? That should just be African, right? It should just be Hamitic. Why are there two Kushes? Why is one coming out of the Asiatic flow and one out of the African flow? And where are you, my Naga? Does North America exist? For some reason or another, associated with Kush, or we're just talking Kash or Kasu. So now we're going to connect this Nimrod, right? This Kushite Nimrod. Let's talk about it, man. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about the elephant in the room, Nimrod. But any proof that the Hebrews located Eden in Babylonia would increase the unlikelihood of their using Kush in a non-Babylonian sense. Hebrews, Eden, in Babylon? To meet this objection, it is suggested that Genesis 2 or 11:13 results from the misunderstanding of the narrator or editor that the Kas was the original form, i.e., the Gahan skirted the land Kash. So since we know we're not talking about the African or Hamitic line of Kash, we're talking about the Asiatic tribes of Kash. We realize that there's two Kushes, but one is Kash, also called Kush. Now it says Nimrod was a Kassite. So if Nimrod's the son of Kush, the question is he the son of Kush, Hamitic, the Hamitic flow? Or is he the son of Kush, or Kash, or Ashur? This mighty hunter. How's it connecting with Havili, my Naga? Hey, for the dismount, my Naga, we're just gonna come back to it. We're just gonna come back to it. So when they keep saying Kassite, they're saying this Kash, we're connecting it with this Ash. They're right. So Hammurabi, all right. I mean, that's a whole nother cold situation. More ancient king of Babylon was a Kassite. Was Nimrod not conceived of as earlier than this, a time when Babylon and all the famous old cities and neighborhoods were long established, when Assyria had already its own independent kings? And if Babylonians so conceived of him, must not the Hebrews also? Undoubtedly dependent on Babylonian accounts for events like these, Genesis 10:8, have been well informed. At all events, as far as the present appears, if Nimrod was a Kassite, we must give up the favorite hypothesis that Nimrod was the same with Inzumbar, Izdubar. That name, whatever it means, has no Kassite marks, and all the evidences of Akkadian literary advancement and Afro-Babylonian dependence upon the Akkadians for poem and legend stand in the way of sudden transference to the wild mountain bred back to these nomads, Kassite, Kushite, Hindu Kush, but we're not talking the Ham. When Moses is king of Kush, which Kush? Kash? In any parts of the stock tradition or myth and bilingual. All right. Now, southwest of Babylon was called Kassi, Kasda. Mercure. Huh? It's a whole nother name to recon. Is west of Euphrates. Kasda would also be there and not Kahan. So if we're talking promised land, my naga, I mean, we ain't talking their version of Kush. We were talking the Kasda that's connected with the John or the Gahan, my naga, or the Pishan, my naga. Less evidence in favor of Deladzint's Kush. So, I mean, than for his Havilian. Yeah, I'm just digging on these rivers because, we got a lot to dig on when it comes to these canal systems. Ooh, wee. Look at this right here, man. The brief part of their course in which the waters were thus intermingled could not induce a writer to forget or ignore their widespread above, nor whatever might be possible in the case of the Pishon and Gahan, or John, to suppose that the Tigris and Euphrates proper in America began where that many channel river ceased, whether the Ashur, so now they're bringing in Ashur, right? I was just talking Kash, we talked Ashur, now they're bringing in Ashur, right? So whether the Ashur before which the Tigris is said to flow in the city or the empire is here immaterial. So this Ashur is where this other river connected to paradise is flowing through. So we had it flowing through Kash. Now the river's flowing through Ash. The same Tigris as flowing past Ash is utterly incredible. Quite as incredible as it that the Hebrews, who, as all agreed, knew something of Middle Euphrates, should utterly ignore that or speak or write as if the Euphrates began as its existence a few miles from Babylon. Well, we're just talking about the Babylonian exiles. And who controls the Nile River? Prester John. Where's the real Georgia? And are we talking Kush? Are we talking Kash? Are we talking Ash? We're talking Havilia? Well, love to this antediluvian map team over here. Are we just talking Havilia? Havilia? Here's Eden. This almost looks like a North America, South America. This looks like Africa, right? So they got Kush over here in Africa. But we're just talking about Kash or Ashur over here. Havilia over here, right? Havilia, they have it as the whole South America, doggone. Havilia, we're just talking the sons of Joktan. Let go. Oh, but sometimes they like to put Havilia where? Right here in Persia or Iran. Like this right here, Ethiopia. Eden over here. Euphrates River? Are they saying it went right between? So it's not no small little river. It's Pison. All right. And they got a Havilia way over here, but this would also be Asia. This would connect to this. So I can dig it. Let's go. Couple more things we'll leave with you right here. And you see how we bring it right back to the promised land. We just talking Prester John. Havilia associated with the Garden of Eden. A river went out of Eden to water the garden, and from thence it was parted and became into four heads. The first is the Pison, which compasses the whole land of Havilia, where there is gold. So this is just Shem's land, man. We're just talking about Shem's land. Havilia, where there is gold. Joktan's crew. Ophir is also gold, right? Sheba is also gold, right? So Joktan is major heavyweight, and so is Kash, or Kush. The Shem Kush might be falling right under Ash. We're just talking Kash. Joktan, right? Besides the name mentioned in Genesis 10:7, another is mentioned in the book of Chronicles. One person is the son of Kush, the son of Ham. The other is the son of Joktan. Huh? So Joktan's son, Joktan's people is being mentioned, okay? Because they keep saying that they don't know who built, all these incredible, structures. Was it Ashur or Nimrod? And the fact that they're comparing those two, it might have way more to do with each other than, has been led to believe. So you get them going to the territory of the Havilia flow. Extra biblical literature, the land of Havilia is mentioned in Philo, source of precious jewels. So it sounds like that San Manyan connects that the Amorites used in fashioning their idols in the days after Joshua, when Kenaz was judge over the Israelites. This is extra biblical tradition found in the Khatan al-Magal, or the Clementine literature, and the Cave of Treasures. According to this tale, in the early days after the Tower of Babel, the children of Havilia, son of Joktan, built a city, a kingdom, which was near to those of his brothers Sheba and Ophir. Any connection with this in Babylon? Any connection with this in the tower? So, we're just getting, some drop, man. I mean, Joktan, you see all these links. We're coming right back into Joktan, also called Katan, like the Kara Katan. Joktan in Arabic literature bears the name Katan, like the Kara Katan. Joktan is described as the ancestor of several South Arabian tribes. Okay. We're just talking Shem though, so how do they keep putting this in South Arabia when we're just talking Shem? Oh, that's where they want Shem to be. Gotcha. In accordance with this statement, and again, man, Havili is one of the sons of Joktan, right? Right here in South America. So, they got to get off this play. You know what I'm saying? His son's named after the whole South America, but he's in Arabia. Girl, for the dismount, my knock. Just digging on, names and just throwing them around. There is Azurad, an Azurad bin Eber, born Nimrod or Nimrod. And this cat, they got a recent date on it. Something else to look into, man. Because Nimrod supposedly had this daughter named Azurad. Check this out. Check it. Back to the pseudo Philo again, right? So here we go again with the Philo, with the Philo, love to the Templar. Digging on the Philo. So of course you got the Nimrod, you got the Tower of Babel connection. This mighty hunter. He will begin to be a mighty hunter, right? Son of Kush. Or we're just talking Kash. Is he a Kassite? Check this out. It is unclear whether he or Ashur, who additionally built Nineveh, Rezin, Rehoboth, and Kala. So he said, look, when you start talking about this kingdom that Nimrod's building, understand variously to imply that he either founded these cities, ruled over them, or both, owing to an ambiguity in the original Hebrew text. We don't know. It is unclear whether he or Ashur, you know what I'm saying, who additionally built Nineveh. So these are all the towns credited to Nimrod. History of the World 1616, reciting past scholarship regarding the question of whether it had been Nimrod or Ashur. And we're just saying, digging on this Ashur drop or Kash. They don't know if it was Nimrod or Ash that built all these cities. But we don't talk about Ashur. We just give it all to Nimrod. What if Ashur is Nimrod? What if Ashur is Nimrod's dad? I mean, what's popping it? Why are they taking it out of Shem? Why are they throwing Havilia, you know what I'm saying, all around, Ophir all around? No one's keeping it real no more. Ashur or Nimrod. Ashur, second son of Shem, son of Noah. Right? You see his brothers. Prior to the Dead Sea Scroll, there was a contention in academic circles whether Ashur or Nimrod built the Assyrian cities of Nineveh, Rezin, Rehoboth, Kala, since the name Ashur can refer to both the person and the country. So they don't know Nimrod or Ashur, Nimrod or Ashur. So we're not out of our league, my naga, out of our boot bones. We're not losing our boots. You know what I'm saying? Asking these very, very important questions here, man. And for the dismount here, Speculum, Journal of Medieval Studies, Volume 28, July 1953. Just the first couple paragraphs. Man or myth? Prester John played a great role from the 12th century until well after the discovery of America. He was part He was an established part of the European pattern of thought. So this black man with the fountain of youth was an established part of how these Europeans were thinking, whether the black Europeans or the white Europeans, as a potential Christian ally in the rear against the Muslim foe. He figured in plans for the later Crusades and thus had a place in European ideas of world strategy by entering the calculations of both Henry the Navigator and Columbus. He helped to inspire the great geographical discoveries. Still later, amid conditions that had ceased in the medieval, he was a factor in the hopes and plans of Emperor Charles V, who did what? Didn't he hijack the Inca straight up Inca line of secession? He was a factor in the hopes. All of this is well too known to require elaboration, but if the presence importance may be taken for granted, questions do arise regarding his origin. Admitting that he was, in a larger sense, a legend, it is still in order to ask whether he was, in some degree, also a historical person. Well, we on Prester John 59, not because we're chasing an illusion, but David, after David, after David, is allowing us to see clearly that there's only one path, my night. Is you in or out, man? We're just talking Asia, Cathay, Exilarchs, and the Regal Naga. Shout out to our mamas. Shout out to our queens. This is Prester John Investigation, installment number 59. You know what's next, right? 60 for the real one. Neighborhood Nipsey, man. It's an honor to get this far with you in this investigation. You see, just don't stop. I mean, my Naga. It don't stop. I mean, we've been surfing the wave, breezing. We've been breezing through this 3 hours and 30 minutes, my night. We've been breezing through these connections. The Salimans, the Rubadi Gadis, the Manis, the Cholas, the Pandians, the Voynich manuscript, Princess Hannah, Princess Tamar. Oh, and by the way, there is a Kiliab and Genie, my naga. Who is Daniel, my naga? And they're giving us dates, but we might have to add 1,800 years on that. Son of David and Abigail, right? Now let's go back. And there's another Kiliab, who is his brother. He's the brother of Jeremoth and Kiliab. So this Kiliab is different than that Kiliab. There's two Kiliabs, also known as Daniel or Deluya. But so he's the brother of Jeremoth and Kiliab Daniel. So we're talking the same, we're talking different. You're going to have to choose your Kiliabs, man. You have to choose your real spill and just keep it flowing, man. I mean, I don't know. This is just too much fun. Choose your Meshachs, my knock. Hey, you even have to choose your Euphrates in America. Yeah. When it's all said and done, you're still talking the Torox. See how we just belly flop to the Torox? You know, the Kofar Al Tarak, my knock. You know, we just rocking out, man. The Torregs, the Dragonlands, the Atlantes, the Torox, man, like Tarak Makdo and Avatar. Man, we just belly flop to the Torox, my knock. That's pretty dope, man. Tarak leaders. Who is the Kofar Al Tarak? For real, for real. Then we just talk about that. It's all happening. It's all happening. I mean, what a dismount, man. What a dismount, man. Torah. What does the Torah got to do with the Torah? What's it got to do with the Jukans? The Khan dynasty. The Amaru Khan. The Dragon Lands of the Pacific. We just belly flopping, man. Moo, Kamari Nadu. Lemuria, the Hiva, the Hawa, the motherland. And again, man, Ahab to our queens, and peace to our mothers, man. And peace to y'all for surfing the wave. Take the surf the wave challenge, man. Come over here in the ether, fall back. We still just digging on it in real time over here, man. Don't mind us, man. Go dig on the library. Get the drop. Please believe it will be some major updates coming. You can get the return of the serpents of wisdom. And don't trip, man. We're going to get all this, looking neat and super organized for y'all. Like, but hey, right, at least y'all got all this drop, though. At least you got all this drop. Hey, hop to the record keeper, Mahakwa, top battle, man. Making sure we got the drop. Making sure you are protected. And we still got the OG drop library up, man. Y'all remember the wave service? Y'all remember? I'll leave all these links. I always love the feel of this one too, man. Nice and simple. It's a beautiful thing all the way. So keep getting the drop. We need to get in, man. We got a lot to get into still. Atlantis to the Sphinx. Fingerprints of the Gods. Graham Hancock drop. Legend of the Jews. It's all happening here, man. Get the drop, man. Get the drop, man. We still in here surfing the wave, y'all. Allahu to the tribe. Allahu to the tribe with the vibe, man. Digging on the real ones. Digging through the crates. Y'all keep it, growing and increasing, and just stay zony with everything you're doing. We do this so that we can, have a flow that we can connect with and be 100 with our Creator. Seek Hawa and David, Hosea 3 and 5, Managa. Because this is what we're doing to wake up, to remember, to recapture. Afterwards, the children of Israel shall return, seek Hawa their power, and David their king, who is Prester John. We're talking Hindus. We're talking Indies. We're talking Hindu Kush. You're talking Moshe. It's all happening, man. This ain't no play. Y'all keep surfing the wave. Say it with me. Allah. Awah. Dawa Da Drop Nation.